Welcome back to Tactical Pontoon. I'm James, and as of right now, I'm still on YouTube. My transition to tacticalpontoon.com and all of the different changes with YouTube, it's still in work. So for now, this video will be going on YouTube, and that transition is coming. Hopefully nothing comes of all of this, but we will see. So for now, as I have time, I will be uploading still to YouTube, and I will give you a notice when I move. More than likely, that notice will come on Instagram, because as I have often said, at least here lately, if you want to keep up with what I do, with all the craziness I have going on, which it is a little bit hard to see, but it literally looks like a couple different Glocks literally blew up in here. My workshop is just, it's crazy right now. I'm really deep in the middle of a lot of my trigger operations. It's been a bit of a journey. Really, we're getting close. And I know I've said this many times, especially as I go along. It's a journey. It is something that once I think I'm there, something else just kind of jumps in the way. If it was just something where I was polishing a trigger bar, or reshaping the little safety tab or something like that, something simple, I would be done, and I would have not only test triggers out there of my prototypes, I would literally be ready to go. So I'm getting there. I'm very close to have a finalized design. I've been working with the CMC trigger, and I will be honest, I don't see offering this as an option. If you want one of these fixed, and I really do like the look of this trigger, if you want one of these guys fixed, I'm going to be honest with you, it's just not really worth your time. I love this trigger. I think it's very cool looking, but it has been a hassle. If I had hair, I would no longer have hair, because I've literally wanted to pull my hair out, trying to really make this trigger what it could be. Something worthy of the CMC name, the CMC flat triggers, which in an AR, really a great trigger. Beautiful trigger. I've shot one, and I really like it. So I'm sad to see the Glock version just not living up to that. So really, what are we here for tonight? A couple different things. Our number one would have to be, and I have yet again, it's been on Instagram, I've mentioned it a couple times here on the channel, and that would be my Glock 31 or my Larry Vickers Clone. This is what I consider the ultimate. This is what the Larry Vickers edition Glock should have been. It has the standard stuff that the Larry Vickers came with, which would be his Wilson combat sights. This one actually has the gold bead. I may yet change that to either the tritium or perhaps the fiber optic. I'm not sure at this point. However, these really are a very nice sight that gives a very clear channel and able to pick up that front sight really well. The gold dot, the little gold bead, actually works pretty well in the daylight. I haven't had any chance to deal with any sort of nighttime operations, if you will. Currently, the barrel is that stainless steel. I'm kind of thinking about finding a factory Glock 31 barrel just to kind of match the stealth theme of this gun. Right now I've just got that Storm Lake barrel in there, and it works pretty well. I'm not 100% with it. I think it's a good barrel, but I don't know that it really is 100%. I do have a Lone Wolf, and the feed ramp on it, if you've seen on Instagram, the feed ramp is just almost pitiful. I mean, if you look at that feed ramp compared to, say, a factory 40 caliber, you'll notice how wide the factory one is compared to the Lone Wolf. The Lone Wolf is about 3/4 the width of the factory Glock feed ramp. So I haven't had a chance to test it yet, get it to see if it feeds well, and it might feed just fine. Lone Wolf actually contacted me on Instagram, said if I had any issues, let them know, they would get it taken care of. I don't have any personal experience with Lone Wolf and their customer service, but they did reach out to me when I tagged them on Instagram. So maybe if I have any issues. Back to the gun. Now, here it is. It's basically the Larry Vickers edition full frame Glock, only in 357 SIG, my caliber of choice, right here. And it is wearing one of their base plates. This is in the FDE. Reason being is I actually left the magazine that I normally keep in it with the black one inside, and it's a Ghost. It's one of the Moabs, the mother of all base plates. I actually prefer it better than the Larry Vickers. Please don't tell him. I know he got a bit upset on Instagram about the Ghost version, and I will admit, Ghost did kind of steal his design. Even up to the logo is very similar, so I can understand why he would be upset. This is also an ETS mag. I do not have any Glock 31 factory mags or Glock 22, basically the same thing. So really all I have are the ETS mags. These have worked just fine for me, and hey, if you think about it, you can definitely tell just by popping that magazine out how many rounds you have. So Larry might be okay with that. Now the idea behind this build was to take what was already there, which was that RTF2 frame, which looking at it I know when I first picked one up, I thought, or when I first saw one, it was like, all right, that doesn't look all that, what it's made out to be. But once you get that in your hand, as I've said before, it's there. It literally is like a very light sandpaper, so you know you have a hold of something. In order to continue on that theme, I went to Visionary Machine Works, and I had them cut front serrations as well as this knurling. And I pretty much told him, don't cut any windows in it. I want this to be a very utility style pistol. I want this to have as few openings to dirt and debris as possible in order to continue on with that, down and dirty operator style pistol. So I want knurls. I want to be able to have this thing covered in mud, covered in blood, and still be able to rack that slide without any issue whatsoever. Whether I have gloves on or whether it's barehanded, I want to be able to grab that pistol, grab that slide, and just rack it. And they delivered on that. I mean, this really is just beautiful. Honestly, I would almost consider having this exact slide done again, maybe with some porting on top and a titanium nitrided barrel, because it really is just a slick design, one that not only has that utility, but it's classy. I mean, I'm really feeling that knurl job. It makes me happy. And I can say nothing but good things about Visionary Machine Works. they took this job on and just knocked it out of the park. It's got, the edges are chamfered. All of your edges gives that Glock slide a little bit more, just a little bit more shape instead of just that Glock block that you're used to seeing. This guy really is a thing of beauty. So add that together with like the Vickers slide stop, also probably one of the more useful extended slide stops that there is. The extended mag release, something that gives it a little bit of an edge. The other thing, this guy has their butt plate, which is kind of cool because it has the takedown pin, which comes in handy. Field stripping your pistol, just kind of taking it apart. I do like this little pin in the butt stop, and it also helps quite a bit when it comes to inserting the magazine. So it's very useful. It's, it could be, why didn't they add a flared mag well or something like that? This guy really, for the most part, takes care of that. If you know where your mag's going, that little guy helps, in my opinion, as much, if not more, than your standard mag well. And it's fairly low profile. This is not something for concealed carry. I will give you that. It is not, it's going to stick up a little bit farther than just the magazine alone. So not a concealed carry option, but for a utility pistol or for something you take out to the range, it's an option. Installed in that is one of my triggers. This is my Archimedes. This is a prototype. This is probably going to be a dead-end prototype because, nobody really wants a factory shoe in their Glock anymore. So while I have the ability to take it down to about a 3.5 pound trigger pull with all factory components, literally everything in here is factory, yet we have a very smooth, the take-up is still there. Let's see if we can get a good light on that guy. The take-up is still there, but the break is clean and smooth. So it is a very highly modified factory trigger with factory components that pulls at, let's get out the trusty Wheeler engineering. Let it start up here. All right, we're good to go. 3.5 ounces, so under 3 pounds, or under 3.5 pounds, I should say. Pull number 2. That pulled a little light at 2 pounds 4 ounces. I pulled that just a little fast. And 3.35. So literally almost a 3 pound trigger pull with all factory components that are not polished, by the way. These literally are. Don't know if it's going to show up very well, but these are factory components that are unpolished that are providing, this is even a Generation 4 trigger bar. I got the nub ground off of it. You can see the backside shows where that dimple would have been. And my lighting for that is terrible. Let's see if that helps. Yep, see the nub? There we go. Anyways, that's a Generation 4 trigger bar, which actually, because of some of its geometry, actually increases the trigger pull weight compared to a Generation 3 trigger bar. But once you know how to overcome that, not really a big deal. So, as I said, the Archimedes trigger, which is basically a factory trigger, all factory components at about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, is not something that I'm going to pursue. It's neat. It's fun having that. but I don't see anybody who's really going to be interested in it. My main goal, or the main trigger that I will be using, and this is one of my tore up prototypes, is the Apex shoe. That is what I have found to be the best of the aftermarkets available. It really does. It works really well. It leaves room for modification, and when I'm done, it just feels perfect, or close to it. So, unfortunately, the Archimedes, it would be something kind of a special order deal if somebody was interested. They saw this video, or maybe they saw something on Instagram. I'm going to continue to say, join me on Instagram, just as simple as Tactical Pontoon. You can see up to the date what I've got going on, maybe some of my new acquisitions, or whatever's going on. Consider it. So that is my Larry Vickers enhanced clone in the 357 SIG. And I have to say, after shooting this thing, I'm very happy. This gun shoots like a dream. Those Larry Vickers sights, where I tell it to go, it goes. Now, I am not a world-class marksman. I am not a great shooter. This gun makes me feel like I'm better than I am. Now, it does have more recoil than, say, for example, my USP in 357. The 357 in the USP does get the recoil is mitigated a bit better in the USP, but I feel happier shooting it in my Glock. So, so far I've got about 150 rounds through this gun in this configuration with this slide, and I am very happy. So, I would put a link down into the description to Visionary Machine Works, but right now that's kind of a no-no with what's coming down the tube with YouTube. So what I'm going to do is tell you, check him out, Visionary Machine Works, Google it, or check out my Instagram. You will find a link to pictures of more slide work that he's done, as well as a link to his website where you can get something beautiful like this built for yourself. Now, normally this has windows cut out in it, but like I said, I wanted that utility build, and he delivered. I'm telling you, just where you want to rack it, you go for it. Beautiful gun. The stainless barrel is kind of growing on me, and I may actually have to send it out. There's a guy that will do he'll chop it at the slide and crown it, and I'm thinking that may have to happen just for something as beautiful as this. So, Larry Vickers enhanced 357 SIG. This is what they should have built. This is how they should have built it, and I've got it. Get with Visionary Machine Works, and you can build something like this for yourself. Truly a beautiful gun, something I'm very happy with. Seriously. I've been running Spear Lawman through it. I've run Freedom Munitions through it. I have some Underwood that I want to push through just to have some fun, blow up some watermelons or something. So that's that gun. That's been fun. You will see more of that coming up. I'll have an update on how that gun's going. So that's that. What else do we have going on in the tactical pontoon world? Triggers, lots of triggers. I also picked up a couple of different magazines that I hadn't seen before. I didn't even know that they existed. And these are 20-round magazines, still considered extremely dangerous by some people because they hold more than 10 rounds. And this one actually is currently serving as a battery dispenser. I thought that was kind of fun. Not quite 20 rounds. This may actually be considered safe. I doubt more than 10 batteries will fit into it. So this is the Tango Down 20 round magazine. I just happened to be, while I was doing a little bit of research a while back for my 357 SIG there, happened to be on Larry Vickers' website. He said Tango Down makes AR-15 magazines. So thought I'd look them up, and sure enough, they do. There's varying reports on their quality. I saw one video where literally the rounds were just like popping out of there. I don't have that issue with these. They actually seem to sit in there very well. The followers, there is a little bit of slack in the followers, at least with the batteries. With the 223 rounds, it's really not bad. They seem to stay in there pretty well. I have not shot these yet. Unfortunately, I've not had a chance to. I mean, I'm not going to shoot this one because it's got batteries on it. But I'm going to take these out. There was a little bit of an issue with my in my CBC rifle that has the Strike Industries Cobra that's got a trigger guard that has the magwell, little extended magwell deal. It actually contacts this. So if you have one of those from Strike Industries, just stick with your PMags. The Hera Arms magazine did the same thing. So it's a cool looking trigger guard, probably not the most practical. So there we go. Going to be putting these through a little bit of a test, as well as that CMC trigger. Or not CMC, but the JMT trigger. Now, speaking of that JMT trigger, I did a review of it, maybe it was last video, and I talked about how I was a little bit disappointed. I just got back from the gym, I am thirsty, and I'm talking a bit. So, the JMT trigger. I was not exactly happy with it. It's a neat trigger, but as I said before, the weight of that trigger was actually a bit more than my Tom's Tactical in my CBC. So I was a little bit disappointed. Went down to my local gun shop, and they put together a lot of ARs. He's got the JMT trigger on his shelf, so I thought I would ask him about it. Turns out, while it does say not to mess with the adjustments, there is a bit of adjustment in there, and it's something that he does when he installs those triggers in his rifles. He gave me a quick rundown, so I got it. When I got home, I played with it, and I actually got it down to about a 2.5 pound trigger pull. Got a little bit of the creep out of it. Actually, it feels quite a bit better. So I still have to test fire that, and I will do so with the Tango Down magazines, as well as the Amend 2 magazines, and just give it a good run for its money. It's been a while since I've shot my AR, so that's what I've got going on. That's what's been going on at Tactical Pontoon, as well as trying to get everything together to move to the new site and get triggers done, as well as kind of hold down my job, which hasn't changed for a while because I haven't told you about it. Let me make something up next time, and we will catch you then. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Catch me on Instagram. I'm telling you, that's where all the fun is. Up to date, all that neat stuff. So we will catch you next time, and I probably said that last time, so whatever. Tactical Pontoon out.